A very good morning to all of you. Welcome back to CricTracker special show in the air with me, Nivedna Prabhu. I hope all of you are excited for day two of the second test that's happening at Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. Yesterday, of course, it was a little bit of a slow start because of the weather, but India has gained a little bit of momentum on day one. And to be continuing to talk about what we can expect on day two from both the teams, I'm joined in by Prateek Tiwari, who's joining us back in the studios. Prateek, good morning to you. Welcome back to In the Air. Sabse pehle, where they left yesterday seemed, very strong if you were to look at it that way, but it all now banks even on Mayank Agarwal to take it forward. Do you think that's what India will be looking at today?
Yes, see, definitely, because he is someone who has already seen the conditions. He has batted for what 246 balls, so he completely knows how the track is playing. But still, I think, as we always say, that the first hour of any test match, no matter where you are playing, no matter the venue, no matter which opposition you play against, it's a slight bit of a vulnerable sort of time because you come after a break of say 10, 12 hours, and then you have to take a fresh guard. You could be batting at any number, but you have to take and start things afresh. So I think that it's important for them to kind of give that much time to the bowlers at the start. But once, because despite all the turn that we have seen on this track, I still feel that this is a track that is actually very good for batting. And because India has won the toss and they have chosen to bat, so I think that they would have in their mind to put at least something like a 450 or 475, or if possible, even a 500, which is very far right now. But still, I feel that they would have that kind of a target on their mind so that they can put the New Zealand batters under pressure.
Right, but on the other hand, if you were to talk about a New Zealand bowler who's been outstanding has been Ajaz Patel. But having said that, the second new ball will be in another 10 overs. Saudi can of course swing the ball as well. How do you look at that? Do you think things are going to be changing for the batters? Would there be more pressure because of these 2 points?
See, I think it's actually worked in India's favor a little bit because yesterday there was this bad light intervention, and Tom Latham, the skipper, the stand-in skipper, was asked if he wants to continue with the Pacers or the spinners, but he said probably that he will go with the Pacers, which is why they had to cut the proceedings short. If probably he would have bowled say maybe 5 or 6 overs with his spinners, the amount that he is left now for before getting the new ball, 10 overs, could have been reduced maybe to say 5 or 6 or 7 overs. So then he could have taken the new ball on the second morning that much earlier. Now, because India still has those, it's a 70-over-old ball. So they still have 10 overs at least to play with that ball before the new one comes in. It's always better to start the morning with a softer ball which is slightly old instead of the new hard ball and with someone like of a caliber of say Kyle Jamieson or Tim Southee steaming at you. So I think that those 10 overs would be crucial because by that time, if India can see those 10 overs at the start and then they can kind of get into their rhythm, then at the time they take the new ball, it would not be too difficult. But of course, they have to counter the threat of both these pacers because even in Kanpur, we saw that it was not a track which was assisting the pacers, but yet they managed to do what they did. So I think that yes, they will definitely be a threat. But still, both the batters right now are pretty solid, pretty set, and a lot will of course depend on how Mayank Agarwal proceeds from here.
Right, and you wouldn't want to jinx it, or you wouldn't want India to have yet another collapse in their batting lineup, is what Indian cricket fan can wish for. But on the other hand, of course, Tim Southee has been exceptional with the ball previously, so you might trouble Indian batters again. So give me your predictions. Hi Sanjay, thank you for joining us. I did see your comment. Give me your predictions. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is a target? I mean, Pratay has said all the way to 465 or 500. Do you all think that's going to be possible? Tell me that in the comment section. We're going to be talking a little bit about how today's sessions are going to pan out. Like I said earlier, at the start of the show, that yesterday we did see some delay. But as for now, session one's going to be between 9:30 to 11:30 lunch, and then 11:30 to 12:10, and then that's when the lunch is going to be happening. Session two would be between 12:10 to 4:40, and then tea of course, and session 3 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. 98 overs for the day. If 98 overs are not bowled, it can be extended to 5:30 p.m. So Pradeep, let's talk a little bit about how things panned out yesterday as well as today, keeping in mind the weather conditions as well. What are we expecting in terms of play and the pitch, if you could tell us?
See, last day, the first day, we had only 70 overs of cricket. So you're talking about 20 overs that they were short of. So Of course, they have to be compensated, and weather permitting, of course, because there's still a little bit of forecast. You can expect maybe an odd shower or here and there in the next 4 days as well. So I think that yes, time will be definitely a factor. And if they can bowl 98 overs, so you're talking about at least 8 overs of recovery today, because 90 overs, the designated amount of time that you have in a test, they were 20 short yesterday. So of course, they will have to compensate that over the next 2 3 days. Still, I think that whatever amount of time that has been lost in this test is not too decisive, because yesterday it was an entire session. The first session was washed out, but still 70 overs of cricket is a lot. It's pretty decent amount of cricket to have on any specific day. So I think that this kind of the kind of track that has been given to them, if we even have say 80 85 overs odd day every single day, if for the next 4 days, you will definitely expect a result. And also, not to forget the kind of turn we saw. I mean, it would not be too surprising if actually the match goes on to even finish before the designated amount of 5 days, because with that kind of turn, with the Indian spinners yet to come, and then expecting things what it would happen on the fourth innings when you have to bat last. You have Ashwin and you have those kind of spinners. You can only expect what kind of threat they will have. So I think that yes, I still feel that despite the loss yesterday, I still feel that as of now the result is very much on the cards as far as this match is concerned.
Okay, I mean that's what everybody is hoping for, and eventually this is also about the points table of the World Test Championship cycle. So everybody would be looking forward to getting some points in their kitty. But on the other hand, what is the conversation like on social tracker? What are people talking about? Let's take a quick look and also get Pratyay's viewpoint about the same. If Rahane had an away record as poor as his home record, he may have not been picked for too many tours. Among the 40 Indian batsmen who average over 35 at home, Rahane is 39. It is to his good fortune that India values its away record far more than it does its home record. Okay. Vinod Kamli tweeting India versus New Zealand team. India should attack the spinners. Don't let them to come on the top. This is how I played against England at my favorite, the Wankhede Stadium. Cricketwala tweeting, torturing after rapid dismissals of Gil, Pujara, and Kohli, India's recovery has been marvelous thanks to Agarwal's virtuoso effort, which has out his side in a good position. Apart from Patel, NZ spinners mediocre, Saudi and Jameson and by the French. Okay, so a little bit about that first tweet. I mean, we have discussed, and I think this is what I asked yesterday as well. How how should this be viewed when you're always comparing your away records? Even I said yesterday when I did ask that question, the fact that we do keep past performances in account, and when it's away records, it's sometimes debatable, but when you're not able to contribute with the bat, at home, especially when you're playing a lot of test cricket. I mean, over the past couple of months, we've also seen after the England series, it was the World Test Championship final, and then it was the England India test, and now we're of course discussing India New Zealand locking horns again. So Pratay, how do you view that when such stats also make it important? For some people it might not, it is eventually the big performances, but how do you view this particular stat in this comment as well?
See, I feel that I mean you constantly hear about these kind of batters. Even Cheteshwar Pujara, before the first Test match in Kanpur, he said that Ajinkya Rahane is just one innings away. The point is that you have to get that one innings as quickly as possible, because you don't want to be out of form for too long, which has now been the case as far as both Rahane and Pujara are concerned. So I think that you want to get that knock quickly, so that maybe then you can get back your confidence. Maybe you can get amongst the runs again, but that is simply not working right now. But still, I feel that yes, away records are definitely important. They have to be respected, because there's no doubt that when you are traveling to places like say England or say South Africa or Australia, the kind of challenge that you have to face there is entirely different than what you do at home. So of
Yeah.
course, if a player has done well in the overseas conditions, he commands respect. There's no doubt about that, and Rahane has done that. But the fact is that for how long would you be able to persist with them, and specifically with the kind of talent you have sitting in your ranks or the benches? Because if you talk about say a Surya Kumar Yadav or Hanuma Vihari, who's not a part of this series,
Yeah.
or even other debutants that probably could have been given a go because they are not being given. So how long would India stick with these two veterans just because they have played 70, 80 odd test matches and they have done what they have done in the past? Because Of course, you have to respect them for what they have done for Indian cricket and the kind of contributions they have made. But you also have to understand that that kind of work that you have done in the past can should not be a guarantor of spot in the team for you for too long. I mean, if you're not performing for 15 games, you can still not be continued to persist it with just because you have probably won India Test match some 4 or 5 years ago. Some or the other time you have to look beyond. So I think that yes, pressure is definitely on both of them. A little bit more on Ajinkya Rahane because his lean patch has been a little longer. As
Right.
I said, that Pujara has not gotten a century for far longer than Rahane, but it's those odd crucial innings that keep on coming in. The couple of half centuries that he got in the England series, and even before that in the Australian series, those kind of knocks still keep him in a little bit good stead. But if you're talking about Rahane, he is definitely under pressure, and I think that if he has to board that flight, he still has one chance in this game. That is the best part about Test cricket. It gives you another chance. I mean, if you've failed in the first inning, you still can kind of bounce back in the second. So he still has one chance if you can make that count, then it would be very good for him before he goes to South Africa because there the challenge is going to be definitely different. And we all know that South Africa is one of the most difficult places as far as any touring side is concerned. You could be from anywhere in the world, but if you're touring South Africa, you have to be completely on your A game, no matter what.
Before we wrap up, of course, India did have that setback yesterday with having those injury concerns. So when it comes to India's bowling lineup, will it be a setback that they won't have the services of Jadeja and Sharma?
See, we will definitely have to see the extent of their injury because right now, whatever we have heard is that simply they've been ruled out of this particular test. There is still a little bit of time, and God forbid, I mean, whatever has been panning around as far as the Omicron variant is concerned, there have been reports that the series might be even pushed by a week or so. So that will give them that much more time to maybe recover. I mean, as of now, India is set to leave on 8th or 9th of December and the squad has still not been announced. So my gut feeling is already that probably the series. I mean, I'm not saying it won't be going on, but I'm pretty sure that it would be a little difficult for it to be going on as per schedule. So I think that as far as the recovery is concerned, and I don't think any of these injuries are too serious or would take very long. I mean, these are not those kind of injuries that rule you out for say 3 or 4 months or will take a couple of surgeries to kind of be healing up. So I think that it would not be too much of a worry right now. And as far as South Africa series is concerned, I think all three players who are not playing this one, all of them should be available.
Okay. Now, the word from Pratyay, of course, is that, the first hour will definitely be crucial every time that you play, test cricket. So we'll have to wait and watch what Mayank Agarwal is going to be doing at the crease. But on the other hand, how lethal can New Zealand bowlers also be and what are they going to be troubling Indian batters? We'll have to wait and watch. But on that note, I want to thank Pratyay for joining me in the studios, all of you as well for coming with your questions as well as analysis. But don't forget to join us in the post match analysis today of day two only on CricTracker's special show In the Air. We will see you soon.